We got to watch Ember move or complete her apprenticeship.
Yeah.
That was a very important thing that happened.
And also
We
talk to
Oh, the
family.
creepy guy. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, there was the creepy guy.
Yeah, don't worry about my bro. We're fine. We got an understanding. He's definitely not a Nosferatu. It's fine.
That's pretty much what happened. Oh, we also got a quest.
We did get a
Oh, that
quest.
is true. What was that guy's name?
The Sussy
Bar-
Baka.
his oh my god. Um
What?
Baka.
his his name is Mulbarad.
I like Sussy
Yes,
Baka.
that is Rail's master.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He had so much fucking drip and so much style, but he
Oh
was a
yeah.
rich douchebag.
He was hot as shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Take it easy, please. Thank you.
Okay, look, you're special too, okay? You're both pretty.
Okay, thank you.
You're both
It's
rich.
funny
You're both
because
very rich.
Good.
you're both hot for the same reasons.
Excellent facial hair drip.
He also did warn us that at least in this in the inn that we were at, the local place that we were, magic is something to be cautious of. That not everyone appreciates someone with no one, not everyone appreciates an enchanter, which is ironic because he definitely fucked with people's brains while we were there, for sure.
I
Yeah, he
mean,
definitely did some magic. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. He had like a I think Cal did some kind of insight check about it and determined that like the reaction they were having was somewhere closer to it wasn't fear, notably. It was like respect or something,
Yeah.
which doesn't preclude some
Yeah.
kind of spell.
Yeah.
But he
It
was
was.
also like wielding his crystal,
Oh yeah.
like yeah.
He was flaunting it.
He was flaunting his wealth. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Like not. To like. To clarify that point. Again. Not fear nor respect. They were just very pleased to do what he asked. They were more than accommodating.
Okay. Charmed
Like
as
they were
hell.
infatuated.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, they were seduced by the drip as well.
Yeah. Seduced by the
I
drip.
would also like to add that there was a area outside the city where explosion happened in a ruin.
Yeah, they found a relic and it detonated and killed a couple people.
Yeah.
Yes.
It killed somebody that's connected to this story.
Oh,
Hmm.
Um yes, yeah. I believe we are exiting the potion cellar. I think that is
Correct.
where
Yeah,
we ended last session.
I
Okay.
was the last one out.
Oh,
Haven't made my deal and bought my stuff.
okay, very good. Also have decided that the to allow you all the shift just the shift the quest timeline a little bit. It felt more appropriate to give you just some time here before, like, if you wanted to leave at the soonest instead of having to essentially leave the 10th, you could leave on the 12th, which is the Monday, the first day of the week, right? Well, I guess technically that's the second day of how these weeks work. But today is the 9th. It's approximately 4 in the afternoon. It's a If you would take the fast route across the wilds from Maras to Karakara, that's roughly a 10-day journey. That would get you, if you leave on the 12th, you would get there by the 22nd, which would be the start of the Harvest Festival. Um, if you took the old road, it's like roughly a 14-day journey. So you'd get there after the beginning of the festival. Um, uh, uh, so it's essentially like your guys' choice what you want to do. As far as like when to lead precisely, Baracus did indicate that like being at the festival when it starts, it's a like you should to be able to enjoy it as it begins. Um, and he seemed to think the festival timing itself might hold some kind of significance, but he's unsure as to what his old colleague is up to. Cool. Let's give inspiration to Rainier and Laylis for the recap. Actually, and Merv too. Everybody gets a little
I
inspiration.
was about to say I'm fine. I got one in reserve.
Nah, you can have another one.
Should always have one in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you guys are gonna need them or want to use them. So
Oh yeah.
May I ask a question?
yeah.
What does that do?
Good to know. Good question.
It's
Very
a
good
very good
question. Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Is the question what does inspiration do?
Yes, I've been hearing you say you guys get one and you get one, like it was Oprah at her like her offering show, and I just
That's
very much
accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. Inspiration, it's like a luck point essentially. So like if you want, like if you make a roll and you don't like it, right? If
hmm
you're rolling your d20, you're trying to make an attack or do a skill thing, you're trying to do something, right, with your roll.
Yeah.
If you don't like the roll, you can say I want to use an inspiration to re-roll it, and then you get to re-roll
Oh,
it.
it's
um
a rewind time, redo myself roll thing.
Basically any role.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
any row you want. It's usually it's going to be restricted to like the D20 roll. Um, there are contexts where it could be applied to other things, but like it's mostly your D20 rolls, right?
Okay.
You can't use them on enemies.
Oh,
But I do allow like you can't make an enemy reroll, right? But you can also like give them to each other as well.
I'm just
Um,
imagining in like a death fight, you just get beheaded and your head just on the ground. He's like, I don't like that. You know
I
what?
don't like
Retry
that.
that one more
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah. And like normally with inspo, right? You would say like before you know the results of things, but because like the game automates stuff for us to save time, and I move quickly a lot of the times.
hmm
I'm not like everybody else is like how we do everything else in the game. I'm not going to be a dick about if you're like, I want to use my inspiration to re-roll that. But like, cool, no problem. You just like if it moves on past that moment, like
hmm
then you're not going to be able to do it, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
works for me.
Yeah, but very good question to ask. Cool, excellent. Okay, it is 4 in the afternoon essentially here. What is everyone doing? You step outside the potion shop again, like it was kept very dim inside there. You step out and leaving the dank herb filled air smells like dirt almost inside that place, very earthy. You step out into the bright afternoon sun. You can smell the work of furnaces in the air here. You can hear the occasional rings of hammers and tools. There are people walking back and forth, people carrying carts. You also notice here that even here in Maras, there are golems here. Same that Bastion carries. They are of similar design and make. You think there's been maybe some aesthetic changes that like the owners may have done to them, but the actual construction all seems to be identical as far as these golems go. And these are not like stone and clay golems. They are like mechanical automatons, but they don't act like fully independently. They are like they're carrying things for people that are like very, very heavy. You see some are escorted by guards and seem to be like working on some of the light fixtures here in town, doing like maintenance kind of work. And Ember, you're aware that some of these golems are also used in the mines for things that they deem to be just simply too dangerous to risk a life, they may send a golem in. But there's not as many here in Maras, as Maras likes to be more hands-on with what they do. But those of wealth that can afford such things, and those that don't wish to do some of the menial labor here in town, like some of the basic city maintenance, they have the golems. So you do notice that as you step out and readjust to the city again.
Well, I got my business covered.
Yeah. Well, we have a few hours before we're supposed to meet for evening meal. Anything else you wanted to see in town? Anywhere else anyone needs to go?
I, I think after going in that little, and he kind of points in the direction of the shop they were just in. Uh, got any churches around here?
They do. They do. There are churches to the four major religions here in town, or the four major religions in Adari. So there's a Church of Lathander, a temple to the Raven Queen, temples to Maliki and Melora, and then here there is also a um, uh, a much grander temple in comparison to it's Moradin, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
dwarf
Moradin.
god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the Dawn Lord, if that's all right. No one's got a. No one. I understand how most people feel.
I mean, you want us to like go and stand outside, or
You really don't have to. I don't mind company. I'm just letting everybody know that I am aware of how most people feel about one of them chapels.
hoity-toity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just here right now. I'm down to go wherever. I just want to explore, see around.
Well,
Church would be good, maybe get the Holy Spirit.
that sounds lovely. I hope you two enjoy yourselves. I'm going to head over to the general store for a bit.
You want some company?
Oh, by all
Because I don't want to
means.
go to a church. Okay, I'll go with you.
How do we want to meet up, find each other?
Oh, we can come back to the general store.
Or I guess we could meet back at your house in the evening if all else fails.
Actually, that's probably a better. That yeah. Assuming, of course, that's all right.
Yeah. I thought that was the plan. Dinner with family and all that. Yep.
I mean, isn't it? It is like a celebration meal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were conspicuously like calling it just like a dinner and stuff, but like we are celebrating you had a pretty big day and stuff. Unless you don't want us to celebrate.
Well, I mean, it's just. I mean, that's fine. I was just. It was just dinner because like it's family and it's you guys and it's back in town. Introducing everybody.
Right.
General store this way.
Okay, I mean, before we split up and then meet back up at your folks' house, is there any like topics of conversation you don't want to bring up around the parents? Things steer clear of, like foibles and stuff.
Or even acts of heroism you don't want them knowing you were participating in.
Because or we could talk about we could big ups you.
We don't even need to big ups you. You did
I mean, yeah, we kind of just
tell it like it is, and it's still impressive.
You stood toe to toe with that big fucking thing.
Yeah, it worked out great. Really, the answer is if it's something. I mean, my dad's gonna be fine. Whatever you talk about, he's very polite. Just if you say something my mom doesn't like, she'll let you know. It's fine. It's fine.
That seems suitably ominous. Okay.
Look, she's in the mines right now, so it's a long day. She's gonna be. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's just gonna be. It's a party, like you said. It's just a
Right, it's
party.
a party.
Um,
All right. Well,
this might
go ahead.
be this might be a bit of a fine point, but just so I don't cause any sort of kerfuffle, perhaps, um, if you could better define what type of party it's going to be. I'm familiar with many different kinds and would
That's a
not
reasonable
like.
question.
Yes.
Um, Look, I'm gonna be honest with you all. I've never had people over before, so I don't really know.
Context
Um,
clues is the rule of the day then.
Right. I think what he might be angling towards is to what degree you want everybody to or to not get fucked up.
I think we should just watch your parents. Nobody
Right, we
drinks
get
more
it.
than the
Right, right,
parents.
right, right. We pace ourselves based off your parents.
Well, I mean, tolerances must be taken into account.
I don't think so.
Okay.
my parents are both dwarves, Kyle.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so Laylis and Rainier are going to Church of Lathander.
Mhm. I'm gonna go sit in the pews and relax while she, speaks to the Holy Spirit. Maybe I'll get attacked by it as well.
All right. And who was going to the general store?
I
Yeah, go for it.
I think it. No, I was saying I as in AYE, not I.
Oh,
As in
gotcha.
I interjection.
Yeah, at least Merv and I.
I
Okay,
think
Cal.
Ember, right?
I don't know if Dom's allowed inside of a
Ted,
church.
you coming with us to the
Why would I not be allowed
Store.
inside
general
the church?
store?
Yeah,
I'm very devout.
Okay.
Yes.
I need
Okay.
to restock my healing supplies.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. Just
So Dom?
separating so I know
Yeah,
where you are.
Dom's extremely religious.
Cool. Dom, you want to go to the church?
I believe I have a funeral today, right? Or is that tomorrow?
It'd be tomorrow, but
Oh,
it
okay.
would be happening at this church.
Okay,
So good
then
to
I will.
good to know where it is.
Yeah, I'll head to the church.
Okay, cool.
Crazy stuff go down.
It's so
Yeah.
sweet of you to be doing this, but every time you say like I've got a funeral to go to, it's like this is for a stranger.
The funeral?
Yeah, isn't it the for the person who died on our way here?
Yeah, but I knew him.
Yeah,
No, 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 no.
no.
No, this is
Different.
a part of my vignette.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, okay.
Um,
Never mind. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. That does sound like something I would create my character to do.
I mean, it all tracks. It all.
Yeah, that's why I assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well within
Cool.
character.
We'll pick up at the Church of Lathander. You approach a it's the Church of Lathander stands out a bit here as it's built in like white marbles and sandstones designed to look glorious. The embodiment of light and the sun. Um, and Lathander is a fairly popular deity, especially in Adari, as his light brings good travel and good harvest. So he's a fairly popular deity. His is also, if you perish and people don't know your beliefs, and, and you don't have any tokens or totems or anything, you are given to the light of Lathander to be purified. That is kind of the default that is performed here. So you approach this building. You're able to enter through the front doors, and the interior is very bright. There are a few stained glass mosaics showing a rising sun over rolling hills and a road leading off to the distance. Everything has a very sun-based iconography inside this place. Even the large kind of candle-lit chandelier that you see is designed almost like a star spiral. As you enter in and kind of mill about the place, you can see there are several people like talking to some of the staff here, and a young woman in simple white robes approaches you, human, maybe late 20s or so, brown hair. She just approaches the group of you and says, "Oh, hello. My name's Elizabeth. What can I help you with today?"
Without at first saying anything, Rainier pulls a medallion from under, or like from like it's not under his clothes. Sorry, it's just around his neck, and lifts it up and just says, "Ketterfield reporting. Um, hopefully, I'm expected."
She kind of leans in a moment and goes, "Oh, what a wonderful piece. That symbol's like you see like the calm on her face kind of like shift and disappear into like concern and nervousness for a moment, and she looks up at you and goes, "Oh, oh, wait right here, okay?
Thank you.
I'll okay." She takes a few steps and like looks back at you and then hurriedly walks deeper into the temple, and you see her turn a corner. And there's a few moments where you're all are just kind of left to yourselves.
I'm just here watching her do her thing.
Hmm.
Well, I'm just vibing.
Cool. um, Several moments pass, and she returns back once more, and she approaches within a few feet of you all and says, um, "Okay, if you would follow me, um, are your these are your companions?"
Not affiliated, but they are allowed to follow if they'd like.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's probably better that they stay here. I wasn't. They didn't say. If you both could just wait here,
Mhm. Mhm. No problem.
all right, please follow me.
I
Um,
nod and do so.
Cool. She leads Rainier deeper into the temple, and Laelis and Dom, you are left to your own devices here in this space. Um, Rainier, as you turn this corner and you follow her down a hallway, there's just kind of like the silence of her and your footsteps. Hers light, yours heavy, and um, are you like holding your crossbow, or do you have it like stowed away?
Um, I it is stowed, but it is very big and not easily disguised.
Yeah. Of course, of
Yeah.
course. I just wasn't sure like how often you just walk around.
It is any like unless there is a reason to feel on guard or that I am guarding something, it is on my person, but not in my arms.
Cool. She leads you down a hallway, comes to a door, opens the door, and then you begin to take steps down, um, kind of curving spiral staircase. Um, you go down about what you feel is like 2 floors down, and She opens the door at the bottom of the stairs and then walks forward. It's a lot cooler in this space here. There's torchlight lighting the way as you go down. Dimmer, but still easily visible, everything down here. Um, she walks you forward about 30 feet, and there's a door you're walking towards that's slightly ajar. And as you approach, you can hear some voices, and you catch this snippet of conversation here. Um, one voice says, "Well, you don't want to be left in the past like some relic, do you? Sooner or later, you're gonna have to make a choice." She knocks on the door and pushes it open, and you see two figures in this room. One sitting behind a desk, a older human with long white hair, kind of a scruffy beard to him. Looks dressed in it's like light tan priest robes. And another gentleman on the other side of the table, sorry, other side of the desk, sitting in a chair, and the door opens and they both look up, he stands, and he is wearing this human is wearing very ornate plate mail. You can see a shield slung around their back, a sword at their hip, and brilliant filigree of a bright sun on the breastplate itself. You recognize him as a paladin of Lathander. You recognize him with that iconography as part of the Brotherhood of the Glorious Sun.
Oh God, these assholes.
He stands up as the priest like opens the door and kind of like bows and gestures for you to enter in.
I bow my head to each of them.
Cool. She closes the door behind you as you enter, and you can hear like her footsteps, softly disappearing. This paladin here, male human, looks to be about early 30s, uh, uh, dark black hair, short cropped, really good looking, real good looking guy. As he stands and you approach into the room, he says, "Speaking of relics, what do we have here? A bona fide hunter in the flesh, is it?"
What's left of it?
Hmm. I didn't think they were still making your kind.
Not for fun.
Hmm. Well, rest assured that once your order becomes a footnote in the histories of Lathander, the glorious sun will protect this world. Have no fear.
He whistles, like that kind of low, like, oh, impressed whistle. I can't whistle, so.
Yeah. The older priest goes, "Enough of that. Craigwood here was just on his way." The paladin turns to address the priest and goes, "Yes, I suppose I was. Think on what I said. Hmm?" He turns, looks at you, gives a nod, and
Oh,
like a
right
go on.
before he leaves, like
Yeah.
as he's leaving, I say, if you're not too opposed to relics, I will be at the Black Mountain Inn later if you are interested.
He gives you a curious glance and does not respond back, and heads out of the room. You see the priest kind of like if he like sighs, and it's like a weight is lifted off of him, um, and he gestures for you to have a seat in the chair.
I do.
The glorious sun coming to save us all.
Well, I mean, not for nothing, but it's not as if it is, I'm sure, both easier and more cost effective to be finding young, handsome fellows like that and giving them shields and oaths than it is to do what me and what was that other kid's name? That other young one? I met a couple uh, back in Bastion, but I don't remember their names.
He leans forward and puts a hand over the desk. You actually have never met this person before.
I
So he
believe
reaches
that.
he reaches a hand out to introduce himself to you.
The name's Herrick Woldhand.
Hold hand?
Wold hand.
Wold hand. Okay.
Yeah. I will. I'll put that in the chat for you.
Thank you. Catterfield. Rainier.
Well, we haven't had we haven't had a hunter here in a while. Your business in town?
Not Lathander business, but business nonetheless. For a short time.
He looks you over a bit, and you can see he's scrutinizing like your face to a degree. And says,
How long you been at this, boy?
Oh, shoot, some 20 years.
Takes a toll, don't it?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Pardon.
Well, the glorious son, they don't respect the old ways. Some of us still remember.
Right.
Well, what can an old priest do for you?
Well, see, as you said, it does take its toll, and I could just use a little assistance. I've got a long trip back to I got a what's it, Karakara?
Karakara.
Karakara. I got a trip back to Karakara, and it would be great if I could make it there in one piece.
Well, I think that we can accommodate for. As I said, haven't had a hunter here in a while.
He stands up and grabs a cane by the desks and pushes himself to the feet, and kind of gives a loose way for you to follow him. And he opens a door off of his chamber that goes into like sort of a like library slash den. Steps into it, steps over to this bookshelf, and you see he's running his fingers along some of the books on the third shelf till he finds one with a red cover and gold filigree on the bindings of it, and you see pulls the book, and you hear a clunk, and the bookshelf itself shifts away, and he reveals a hidden passage behind the bookshelf, and grabs a nearby candle and then lights a torch right on the entryway and then begins walking down.
I follow.
He leads you down another 2 levels in this place to Subterranean Chamber. Lights a few torches within this chamber itself. It's roughly like 20 by 20 inside here. In this room, it's clear that people haven't been here for like a while, but it's not like cobwebbed. There's just like you can run your finger and find some dust, right? But it's not dilapidated. You see a lot of sun iconography, but it is older than what is presented above to the masses, speaking to an older time of Lathander's church, a time that also dealt more in purification of the wicked than it necessarily does now, or at least the story that's being sold to everyone. In this place, you see this is like Batman's gear temple, right? Like there are weapons on racks, daggers, swords, crossbows, bows. You see ammunition of all sorts. You see a opened case that has like 5 vials of holy water in a bandolier. This is a not uncommon thing for you, but it seems that this particular equipment center for hunters just hasn't been used in a while. Though, as you notice, like it also hasn't been restocked in a while either. But the equipment is all very well made and still maintained. You were able to freely take weapons here. You were able to freely take like crossbow bolts if you need to take more of them. And he leads you over to a large like armoire with a large chain and padlock on it. Pulls a key out on a large key ring, fiddles with them a bit, unlocks the padlock, pulls the chains apart, opens the armoire, and he takes this case about 2 feet wide, about 6 inches tall or so, and then walks it over to a table in the center. And he opens this chest, and inside this, you see spaces for 5 like it's like foamed spaces that would be for like specific items, right? It's custom made to hold these things. You see spaces for 5 vials, though there are only 2 in here. And as he opens this, the light from this chest fills the room with warmth. These are drops of divinity,
Oh,
actual blood of Lathander. Uh, he kind of squints a bit as the light, his and your eyes adjust into the light a bit, and he steps back and goes, "Well, it is about all we got."
It should do.
He gestures to a chair that has like some bindings for the legs and arms. And says, "You gonna need that?"
He kind of like regards uh Herrick's like demeanor for a minute, like he's a bit of an older guy, and just says kind of honestly, "How steady is your hand?"
Well, my hand's all right, but I think it's more about if you can take it. Diluted as it is, it ain't no thing.
I remember. I should be fine, and I'd rather a straight shot than a shaky one. So if you're getting nervous, just let me know. I should take over.
Hmm. Um, uh, he picks up one of these vials, and these are like ornate, like the most beautiful crystalled vial that you can think of, refracting the light like rainbows from it. And in this vial, it is it's not, the vial itself isn't very large. It is fairly small. It fits in the palm of your hand, and within it there is a clear liquid, and then hovering within the center of this clear liquid. No matter how much you turn it or shake it, it always remains in the center, is a very small droplet of it's almost red, but the light that radiates from it emits a kaleidoscope of colors, so it's hard to determine, is this actual like blood as I know it. It is still beautiful and wonderful to behold, same as it was the first time you saw this. These vials are also they're not injected, they're made to be drank. You actually pull the top and consume it.
Okay. Good to know. I think Rainier still goes to like sit in one of the chairs, but does not make a gesture to like uh, secure himself in place.
Cool, yeah. He hands you the vial, and then just like he stands like ready in case like something goes wrong, you need help with anything.
Hmm. Now, I'm going to apologize ahead of time for any colorful language, but I take it that you will respect the pain.
This is not my first rodeo, as they say.
I have a vial in one hand and tip it to him, and then lean back and drink.
Great. um, it's like fire made liquid pouring, rushing down your throat, filling your stomach, and instantaneously, like, all your muscles begin contracting, and the veins in your arms and neck begin to pop and pulsate, and there is rivulets of light that like pulse through them, running through as your blood is pumped faster and faster in your body. It is not an enjoyable experience. It is painful to take on. Even in this diluted form, you are still absorbing an actual element of divinity, and it is barely manageable for mortal beings. As you seize and you can feel your stomach pulsating over and over again, and your eyes kind of flutter in your head for a minute, and you see flashes of your travels here. You see flashes of your past, and you see a starry sky, stars blinking in and out. You see these stars begin to fall from this sky, rushing like comets down to the ground, exploding one after another on this landscape. Every time they impact, large violet crystals pierce out of the ground. Some the size of a person, some the size of a building, one after another after another. One of these falling stars comes at you, slams into you, and you see a caldera. But there is not lava in the center of this caldera. As you look up at it from the bottom, there is a brilliant amber light shining out of it. And then you see the ceiling of this room that you're in. As the light in your veins begins to dim and your muscles loosen, and you feel control return back to your body. You are leaned forward a bit. There is saliva just dripping out of your mouth. You can see there's just a small pile that has accumulated. You have passed out for a few moments, seemingly. You look up and you can see Priest Woldhand is like made a few steps close to you, has a concerned look on his face, and looks at you and kind of like winds his eyes, shakes his head like, "Are you okay?"
Just a weak hand waving and waving him back and nodding, eyes closed and sweating.
You took that pretty good, I'd say.
Not my first rodeo.
Rainier, you for the next 24 hours are immune to the frightened condition.
Yeah.
And roll a d4 for me.
Oh.
Okay. That many, however you want to interpret this, that many years of necrosis is removed from you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. He takes a minute to let muscles relax enough so that he can feel his extremities again. Um and then sits up, wipes his face, uh and says, do appreciate you. As will the next hunter who comes through here.
Mhm. Well, that may still be a time.
He goes over to another table and grabs a little flagon and hands it to you. It is water.
Oh, thank God.
You can see he goes to close the case and then pauses for a moment before the light disappears. And he's staring at the light inside and says out loud,
You know, there's a change coming. Church ain't what it used to be. Them sons is making a move.
Well, it's a matter of faith and all that. And then for those who it really matters to, it won't matter. And for
Hmm.
those it does matter to, enough of them are strong enough to carry a big stick and push them back.
He closes the case, picks it up, sets it back in the armoire, and re-secures everything. Uh, Takes a few steps on his cane, kind of in the middle of the room, and kind of gestures around, and says,
Well, we got a lot here. If you need to make use of it.
His eyes kind of lazily review the armaments, but then like his gaze rests on the uh, uh, the holy water, and he points to it and quirks an eyebrow towards Warwick.
Be my guest.
Much obliged. And he'll hook it around his arm and shoulder it.
excellent. Is there anything in here besides that you want? Do you want more crossbow bolts? Do you want any other backup weapons or anything like that?
Uh, I did get an enchantment, so I don't currently need crossbow bolts, but I think I'll take one more set just to have.
Cool.
That I won't make Merv make me keep this. But as for backup weapons, no, this is my baby.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
For
We need to
better
get
or
you a
worse.
fucking dagger.
No,
Just
no, no,
one
no,
boot
no. It'll be
dagger.
fine. No, 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 no. That'll be fine.
One boot dagger, please.
Listen, listen. Next level won't even be an issue. We won't even have to worry about
You
it.
still need to cut stuff like
I-
rope.
I have not thus far. I have been
Do
fine.
not. You're gonna shoot rope.
I'll try if I have to.
You gather what things that you want from here, and Herrick goes around and shuts off, puts out the remaining torches as you all make your way back up. He resecures the secret bookcase opening, and then heads back into the office chamber again. And he says to you,
Well, what what is it that you're doing in Karakara?
We've been asked to track someone down. I've actually worked for her before, though I never met her. Um, my note. Umeli. Mage. Powerful one.
kind of like scrunches his face a bit, someone who's trying to remember something, shakes his head and goes,
Can't recall the name, but perhaps one day I did.
Anything important?
Well, if it was, then I would have remembered it.
Touche.
I'm glad that folk like you are still out there.
What, folk who do the shit I do in dark rooms, or
I suppose all of it. Not everyone is chosen. Those that are tend to rise to the occasion.
do appreciate you?
kind of settles himself into his chair. There's the creak of the wood and lets out a held breath.
Well, good luck out there, Catterfield.
And you. Hope those glorious members of the Brotherhood don't get you down.
Not on my watch.
I'll give him a little 2-finger salute and go to find Dom and Laylis.
Cool. Easy for you to backtrack as you head up to the top chamber, the main portion of the temple. You see Elizabeth there is waiting for you, and just gives you a nod, then just accompanies you back into the main area of the church and gives you a bow of respect. She doesn't seem quite as nervous this time. You kind of get the vibe. Actually, roll an insight check for me.
Not one of my strong suits, I don't believe. Oh damn.
Very good. You quickly put together based on her body language in your interactions, like she was surprised and a bit like frightened of you at first, but not like she's scared of you. It's like, oh shit, there's a fucking hunter here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Um, but that seemed like she seems more at ease as you are, heading back in, um, and you're able to rejoin your companions. Before you do so, has Layla what have Laylis and Dom been doing while Rainier's been gone? He's been gone for like 30 minutes.
To be honest, I'm not doing it to make fun of people, but it's how I was enjoying it. I was sitting there in the pews, right, and listening to people do the little prayers, and every time I feel like I heard something spiritual, I just raise my hand and be like, yes, yes. And I just keep doing that as people are praying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Does uh uh now the elven culture in Finland, Nora,
Hmm.
especially like your family, um, like your mother and father worship Maliki, goddess of the hunt.
Ooh.
As more like they also worship Melora, goddess of nature, but more so Maliki. And many of the elves in Finland Nora also have a association with Maliki and Melora. Um, does Laylis have any particular beliefs?
Uh, with what he wants to do of opening the insight and mindset to outside cultures, not a single devotion, more of seeing what there is out there before committing to the set ways, if that is what he chooses.
Cool, cool, very good. You get a couple like curious glances at first, but like seeing like people catch on that like you're not like making fun of them. Though it is strange that like you're listening to their prayers to a degree. Every time you like raise your hand for like like to affirm, right, to praise, you see Basar like spit up a little bit of like elemental magic. Um, and people like look over and then they don't catch him doing it, but they're like, "What was that light? What's happening?"
He's doing it with me. It's so great.
Um, what about Dom? Is there anything in particular Dom had been doing?
Yeah, I am looking for someone in charge, especially like if Elizabeth is still around.
Yeah, she would have been in a tent, like in a helping people around, and she would have only gone kind of to check on Rainier after a time, right? So yeah, you could approach her.
Okay, cool. Um, I was wondering, a lot of people died on the caravan up here, and I heard that their bodies are generally taken here if they don't know what they're supposed to do with the remains. Are any of them stored here now?
Um, there was mention of that. I think some made their way. I wasn't here when that happened. I think it was a caravan. Are you one of the caravan owners, or did you know anyone?
Um, I was on the caravan itself. Uh, although I wasn't very close with anyone in particular, I um, still knew the people, as it were.
Oh, um, well, we do have. Are you just looking to pay your respects?
Um, Mostly, uh, I'm a follower of Sayanine, and we have our own rituals. I'm not trying to step on any toes or anything like that, but I definitely want. There's some rituals that, if allowed, I could perform for the remains.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm okay at that. Ooh,
um,
23.
She kind of like taps her finger on her lips for a moment and considers what you're basically what you're asking. Goes, well, I don't see any harm in it, and most of these folks don't get any visitors, so I think we can arrange for that. Um, she calls over another attendant that will lead you to another chambered area away from the main section of the church. It feels like you're kind of like going like into like a back section. Um, behind the main building and down a floor, and you see there are set on the floor many bodies. Some are wrapped, some are not like fully wrapped, but are on bits of cloth. And you see there are priests and priestesses in this room that seem to be like preparing the bodies for their eventual purification.
Cool. I plan on using my ability to talk to the dead to make sure that anybody who's in here, specifically, is okay with being given to the light, or if they would like something else done with their remains. And we don't have to RP it. But anyone who doesn't, I would bring it up to the attention of one of the attendants if it's
Wonderful.
available.
Yeah, wonderful. You find that like 70% of the people here are just like fine with that. Um, you find one person that is surprised that they're dead. And and then there are two people, one of which is a follower of Moradin, and then one of which is a follower of Melora.
Perfect. I let the people know so that their bodies can be transferred to the appropriate facility.
Cool. They tell you that they confirm like which people, and they they do ask you how you know this. How do you explain this to them?
That's a great question. uh, I would explain that, and this is a bit of a lie, but that I'm a devout follower and I've been blessed with the gift of being able to talk to the dead from Sanity herself. Um, I don't know that to be true. I just believe that's where my ability comes from.
Hmm, okay. Um, Make a persuasion or deception check since it sounded like you were. It sounded like you said you're kind of lying, but I'll leave it to your choice.
I'll go with persuasion because it's what he believes.
Sure.
Also, they're the same anyways. So. Oof.
Okay. um, they nod and they tell you that you know they will still make the arrangements for this. Um, but they what they say is you shouldn't tell stories like that. People can get their hopes up on such things.
I really didn't mean it.
Um, and you know they kind of like leave you to your own thing after that.
Perfect.
um,
After that's all done, I join Layla's back outside.
cool. Rainier, Laylis, and Dom, you were all reunited.
Nice.
All right. Rainier looks a little like he looks visibly refreshed and like uh some of the finer like lines on his face are a little bit smoothed out. All right, should we head back for dinner?
I'm ready.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. I appreciate you both waiting. Didn't mean to keep you.
I was
Uh,
having the best of time in there.
Found a way to be productive.
Oh, really? What did you two do?
Um, I affirmed the other believers, gave them reassurance.
I found the
Oh,
appropriate resting place for many of the dead here.
well, that was mighty kind of both of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Super kind. Even Bazaar helped.
Well,
Um,
and I'm sure the folks here very much appreciated that.
I would only hope so. To the most I can describe is I can only hope so.
Well,
uh,
I think
excellent.
the dead appreciate it more than the living.
Um, you all exit the Church of Lathander and can make your way back over to, since you know where Ember's place is, you can make your way back there to meet up with the others. Um, Ember, Merv, and Cal, you head towards a general store here in town. This store is a simple brick and timber building, has a red tile roof and has some vines crawling up the walls on the roof. Um, and there's a sign outside, again in Dwarvish first, and then Common underneath, and it's called the Burlap Emporium. And as you enter in, you see a like a wide open room. The majority of this place is built to display variety of crafted goods and knickknacks of all kinds. You see a large candelabra hanging from the ceiling, as well as a variety of other lanterns to make sure like the area in here is very bright. As you step into the place, you see there is a male dwarf um, uh, hopped up on top of a table in the back of this room. And as you enter in, he gestures wildly with his hands and begins shouting and says, "Close the door! Close the door! Be quick about it!
All right.
You're gonna let it out! Get it closed!"
What? What's going? What happened now?
Do you close the door?
As soon as we're all in, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You close the door, and he puts a finger in front of his lips. Go. Shh, shh. It's it's still in here somewhere. And he is like looking around the place, eyes wild. You can see there is a cloth kind of bandage around one of his hands, like very loosely, quickly wrapped, that has been like soaked a bit with blood. And his eyes are wild, looking around the place, going, "It's somewhere in here. It's hiding."
What is?
A book.
What?
Oh, I, I, I thought Layla's thing followed us somehow. Okay. Book. What kind of book? Why are we whispering if it's a book?
It can hear you.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
No further questions.
um you can see like he like nervously shifts a bit on his table, and a little like metallic candle holder rocks back and forth and then tips and falls with a clatter on the wooden floor, and you can see scrunches of his face like as if, waiting for something to strike.
Were you, were you saying things that. Were you being rude to the book?
No, no, it. I was putting it away, and he holds up his bleeding hand. It bit me.
Hmm.
Okay. What kind of thing is book?
He looks at you and kind of squints his eyes and goes, what do you mean?"
Well, I mean, I assume it. Oh, it's not. It's you actually mean a book.
Like a
It's not that its name is book, but like you actually got bit by a book.
Well, it was a book. It somewhere in here. And his eyes are like darting around at like the rows of shelving in this place. And there is, as you would imagine in a general store, many things and many books.
did you like spill something on it or
I don't know. I was just putting away goods that we received in the last few days that I hadn't gotten to, and this thing just bit me. I ran and screamed, and then when I turned, it wasn't there.
Okay.
right?
Okay. Uh, see what we can find here. Where were you standing when it bit you?
He points between two rows in this space, and the building itself. Like this room is like 30 feet wide, 15 feet, sorry, 30 feet long, 15-foot wide. And he points between two of these rows, and you can see like a small little, like, puddle of blood with a few drops kind of leading to where he is currently.
What you figure books eat?
Apparently fingers.
Yeah, fingers. I mean, I could get some of my own blood if we want to like bait it.
Or we could just sort of look for it. It sounds like
I mean,
it'll come after us anyway.
what was the name of the book? Like on the spine,
I don't know. It had a. It was green, and
Green Book.
I don't know. I was just putting it away.
Well,
Please, if you can help me, if you can help me, I'll give you a discount on anything you want.
this
Rock
is
on. All right, let's do this.
this is ridiculous. And I'll take a few steps down the aisle where the blood droplets are, so where this individual has come from, and I will very loudly announce, listen here, this will no longer be tolerated. We understand you are a book, and as a book you have pages, and pages are highly flammable, and unless you present yourself by the count of 5, I will burn this place to the ground.
Okay, well,
And I turn around to the proprietor and sort of like wave my hand at him like, no, I'm just, don't worry about it, right?
He has a very wide, shocked face right now, unsure whether you were going to attempt to burn down his building.
1, 2.
can I roll an investigation on whether anything moved when he went like fopping his way into there?
You sure can.
Ooh,
You didn't see anything move.
huh? Okay.
3.
I'm gonna go check over by the puddle of blood. See, I mean, obviously there's a trail that leads to here, but like if it was dripping off this whatever attacked him, air quotes book, maybe it went off some other direction.
Okay. Ember, as you approach Cal, you have counted to 3. What are you doing?
4. And then I will actually turn to the proprietor and just say, just out of curiosity, what have you consumed this morning, and do you perchance sell any of that?
Well, only like 3 pints of ale, and we do carry some. Um, Ember, you want to check around the area. You can do, do you want to do perception investigation on the shelves? Like, or are you trying to do something different?
I guess just see if there's another blood trail. Like I can see where it went from the giant puddle to the proprietor. I'm just making sure there's no trail going off another direction.
Yeah, sure. Just like visually looking there, you see the trail as has been described that you know is there. You take a look at the shelving. You do see like a few droplets on the second shelf, and there is a book near there, but it's yellow in color, and it does not have any blood on it.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll just grab it, pick it up,
Ooh,
give it a little shake.
you shake this book in your hand.
Yeah. Not this one, I guess. Put it back.
You set the book on the shelf, and you can't pull your hand off this book.
Oh man. Eh,
Kind of flail your hand a little bit, trying to pop this book off, but your fingers and thumb are firmly attached to this thing.
I don't know if I found the book, but I think I just cursed myself.
What do you mean?
I can't let it. She just keeps shaking the book, trying to get her fingers off of it.
Yeah, excellent. You shake the book, and you watch in horror as the spine of the book opens up into a mouth with teeth as two eyes appear on the cover, and this mouth wraps around your hand, and you take.
Oh, that's a neat trick. Ah, you're a little bitey.
You take 7 piercing damage.
Ow!
And 7 piercing damage and 2 acid damage, as this book is now consuming your hand within itself, and you hear this.
Can I see this?
Yeah, you all see this book has grown a mouth and is now eating Ember.
Okay. I am going to quickly scan for any sort of large like glass jar or container or something that
Yeah, there's
might fit the
like
book.
Oh, okay. There's a glass jar that like appears to have like it's filled with it's filled with candy, like little bops of candy.
Okay. And I think it's like obviously I won't know, but I think it's large enough to fit the book.
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to run over and dump out all the candy.
Excellent. You grab this thing, turn it over to dump out the candy. The candy does not dump out. You see a mouth grow on this thing and try to clamp on your hand,
Okay.
but is unable to actually grab a hold of your hand. But
Okay.
your hand is still attached to this jar now. As
Okay.
it also, mouth appears, eyes open up, and
Unusual shop you have here.
the dwarf just begins screaming in horror.
Okay. So it's not a trap. That's a good start. Don't fucking touch anything else.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta look something up here.
As you were looking at Ember, are you doing anything right now?
Yeah, I am going to I guess I will immediately start slamming the book into one of the shelves and just screaming for it to let go. Let go, don't make me light you on fire. Let go. Ah!
Okay, excellent. You can make either an athletics or an acrobatics check to get rid of it. You can make that roll with disadvantage, though.
Okay.
Your DC is 13, just so you know it. Okay, this thing is like on you, my friend.
Okay, I think I can get it off, but it might hurt a little.
Oh boy. Okay. It also bites you again.
Okay.
For 6 piercing
Okay.
and 6 acid damage.
Okay. Cool. All right.
You see this tongue curling around. It like your hand somehow has gotten deeper into this book, and it doesn't even physically make sense anymore.
I will go ahead and Okay, all right, you asked for this. I'm going to aim up with the book on my hand still, just so I'm not pointing at a shelf, and I'll just cast Burning Hands.
Okay, very, very good. Okay, okay, there's barely enough room to do this. Well, actually, um, Burning Hands.
It's a 15-foot cone, which is why I'm pointing up. But
Yeah, Burning Hands. Okay, here's what I think is fun here because it literally comes from your hands. You don't have to worry about it going anywhere because it is from the hand in the thing, so
okay,
it is just going in
that's
fully inside this.
kind of what I was
Oh.
hoping.
Okay, cool.
Oh, because they're. Oh.
Eh,
Okay. This little guy. Okay. They're gonna have disadvantage on the roll because your hand is inside there. That's a nat 1. Okay. Oh, this thing is immolated, burnt to a crisp, and the ashes just like flutter to the floor as your hand is freed.
Ember will slump to the ground.
The fuck?
I
Cal,
will.
your jar. Oh, sorry. Oh, what are you doing?
I'm gesticulating wildly with the other hand because I'm casting a spell.
Mm-hmm.
I am casting Vortex Warp.
Okay.
And I'm going to send this fucking thing into the farthest corner that I can see in this room.
Okay. Con save. No effect.
Okay.
This thing is gripped onto you tight. Um, uh, this thing bites down on you, and you take 1 point of piercing damage
Mhm.
and 1 point of acid damage.
Okay. I can't remember what. I think it's lightning.
What is Merv doing?
uh, I like at this point probably reflexively have like loaded up a stone and am just holding it like waiting to see if Cal could figure something out.
Okay.
Cal
Cal.
seems to like I kind of froze up with Embers because it literally just started eating her whole fucking arm. Cal seems to be more of a nuisance and he's throwing around magic and shit.
What is Cal doing?
Fuck it, I'm gonna cast Vortex Warp again.
Okay.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yeah.
Okay. You send it to a far corner of the room as this jar lands. Do you want it like the side of the room that has the dwarf, or like more towards the front of the shop?
I guess
'Cause
more
you guys,
towards the
you guys are in the middle.
right.
The
I guess more
dwarf
towards
is
the
at the
front of the
back.
shop. I don't want to. I don't want to make this dwarf the target any more than he already has been. So I guess more towards the front of the shop. And as soon as it's off me, I'm just going to start screaming, "Kill it! Kill it! It's up front!"
Yeah, I'm firing a rock.
Okay, fire rock.
Pew!
Oof. You this jar like it begins like ambulating its
Oh
way across the
Jesus!
floor. Like it's about to turn a corner and you're gonna lose sight of it, and you see your rock pierce through it, and where what would be like the sound of shattering glass is just a wet punch.
Oh,
And you see like some purpley ooze kind of come out of the hole in the jar, and the thing just like melts into a puddle of like eye and mouth and teeth, and is dead.
I'm running over to quickly put some in a flask. Merv is deeply fascinated.
Merv,
Careful.
if I may,
Huh?
Ember looks fairly severely injured.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. I think that
Well,
this is gonna go.
I'm fine. I
No,
got
I got red bog
myself.
rum for you in a sec. Don't worry. I just want to. Maybe use glass. That looked like it had some acid.
Say, you didn't get anything else in this shipment, right? Was it just those two things?
The dwarf standing on the table is like eyes wide, looking at everything that's just happened, and is, I don't know, I didn't know there were two of them. My business is ruined, ruined.
I'm inclined to agree.
Okay, no, we could figure this out. We just gotta.
Ember, come here and drink this.
What is it?
It's red bog rum. It fixed Rainer up pretty good. You're my
I mean,
my second use.
why do I have a 15-foot cone attached to my? Oh, because I cast Burning Hands. Got it.
You cast burning hands. Yeah.
Okay.
and there it
got you.
is.
Oh no, his building.
Right.
I think I can just delete. There we go. And
It
unlock.
says no available uses remaining. Huh.
You have to set like the quantity to 1 of it, because like it's a use based thing, right? So like if you didn't use one today and like that's the one you made, then you just set quantity to 1 and then you can do it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's over there where I wasn't looking. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Are we-
charge to 1. Yeah.
Okay, that should have done it. Targeted.
Feels a lot better.
Oh, I thought I had you targeted for it. Didn't apply.
That's okay. I got it.
Okay, now if you can't feel your toes, that means it's working.
I can't really feel anything but pain right now, so I guess that means it's working. Seriously though, sir, did you get anything? Oh boy, we're gonna have to test everything.
But I think maybe just to be
Was
on the safe side, perhaps your 5 or 10 most expensive items. We should probably take those.
Right.
They're most likely to also be contaminated.
Okay. I think you're right that we will have to systematically check everything in here. I will pay you each 20 gold to help me check and secure this building, and then, of course, the discount that we spoke of.
I mean, you saw what it did to that hand. Do you think 20 gold is like...
30 gold is
okay.
a wonderful sum.
Okay, and what kind of discount?
Do you sell brooms? So I'm gonna test a broom first, and then I'm gonna use that to test everything else.
Right.
Well, of course, 15% off for friends of the Burlap Emporium.
20%.
You can see there's like a hard swallow.
I just point at like Ember's hand, which is still fucked up.
Hey, you leave me out of this.
I mean, look down at your hand.
If we agree to no spreading of rumors around town, I have a reputation to uphold, then 20% could be amenable.
Oh, well.
Now, wasn't...
Unfortunately, I am quite the drunkard,
Shit,
and
you shouldn't have said that.
when I consume alcohol, which is frequently, I tend to run on at the mouth a bit.
I
So,
do live here.
Hmm?
I'm just saying, I do live here. I do have to live here.
Right.
What,
In
in this
fairness,
store?
No, but I mean, in this town, can we not? You know,
in fairness, it's possible that Cal wouldn't have thought of blackmail if he didn't mention it. So like, it's kind of his fault.
I don't think that's how that works. I'm gonna pick up the broom and just start poking. Well, first I'm gonna pick up the broom. Let me stop there.
You pick up the broom. It's a broom.
Oh, thank God.
I'm going outside for
I
a
almost
stick.
died to a book. So
Okay.
I'm basically creeping along Scooby Doo style behind Ember with a rock, like ready to flick.
Excellent. Go ahead, roll perception or investigation, whichever you prefer, and you can roll with advantage.
Perception.
Crushing it.
Okay.
Nice.
That didn't roll the advantage, but I mean the 22 is good. Why can't I? Where's the plus? Why is the plus not showing up?
You can just roll, like, you can just click it again. Roll it again. I think it's because I set it to actually pop up and ask if you want
Oh,
advantage, that
yeah.
it doesn't have that
Oh.
anymore, because it's more of like a,
Mm.
because like people were just forgetting it,
Yeah.
to do it. So I thought it'd be easier if it said, "Hey, what is this roll?"
22.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, I think it's
22.
because the top one is from D&D Beyond rather than.
Oh yeah, anything from D&D
Mm.
Beyond has no effect on nothing carries over like that.
But yeah, I still can't. There's no plus popping up on the other one. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay. With a 22 and the three of you working together, this does take a bit of time to check the store. This takes for the whole store here. This takes 2 hours of time to do, but you are positive that you have checked every item in here, and none of them tried to eat anyone. This store is safe.
This
All right,
house
mister.
is clean.
You see the dwarf who's been like cautiously behind you as you've been checking things. Like the first few items, like he like jumped a bit, waiting for it to attack. But he always stayed like cowering a bit the entire time. Once everything has been checked here, he says, "Ah, well, I thank you for your time, and a deal is a deal." And he gestures to the place and goes, "Well, you have a layout of everything. Feel free to let me know what you want, and I'll get that discount for you, and let me get your reward." And you each receive 30 gold.
The blood I scooped up doesn't evaporate in the like glass bottle, right?
No, you got
Okay.
some. You got
Yeah.
some. Roll a nature. Roll a nature check for me.
Okie dokie.
Actually, you can roll nature or arcana.
Nature's my better.
Okay.
Eh.
Yeah, with 12. These were little mimics,
Oh,
like tiny little,
yeah.
like baby mimics.
Baby mimic blood. It goes into inventory.
This is a general store, so anything, as far like player equipment kind of goes, like adventuring equipment, that sort of thing, is available for purchase here. He doesn't have magical goods for sale. It's the same. If you need like tents and that kind of thing, he has those available.
Mostly just looking to spend a gold and a half to refill my healer's kit.
Very good. If it's just like a gold to refill it, he just gives it to you. and says, No need, please. My thanks."
Um,
Thank you.
Cal is looking for like a handful of rice and like the smallest quantity of rice he'd be able to purchase. He doesn't want a big giant sack of it, but would buy that if that's the only way he can get some. And
If
then,
you want a handful of rice, yours no charge.
okay, fantastic. And I will also be looking first for any sort of pocket-sized container that is bee themed. So like a bee, like a beehive, like a honeycomb sort of box. Any of that nonsense.
Cool. Roll a d100 for me. You want 20 and below.
Okay. Um,
No bee themes here, but he
okay.
has containers of different sizes and varieties.
Okay. Yeah. Not interested in that at that point. I just want the fanciest looking black and yellow ribbon. And if he doesn't have one that is both black and yellow, I will get a black ribbon and a yellow ribbon.
He has a black and yellow ribbon. As these are like minor items, he is just giving them to you all.
Fantastic.
As there's no significant cost to them compared to what you have done to help the store. He goes and like shakes each of your hands vigorously and says, "Oh, well, I can't thank you enough. Remember, if you need anything in town, you obviously know the store is safe and well equipped. Arias Troll Bleeder, you're welcome anytime at the Burlap Emporium."
Quick question: would he have cold weather clothing?
He has some, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
little colder up here. It's north of the bog, right? And
Yeah.
so he has like there are some like jackets, but it's not meant for like full winter.
Fair enough. I'll spend a few gold to just get like half cold weather clothing.
Okay, yeah.
A nice coat.
Yeah. I think God, what is
There is
common
like cold weather
clothing?
clothing, which is just like 10 gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like
It's
it's got to
just
be pretty cheap overall. It'd be 8 gold for you.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like Merv is splurging.
Is he splurging? He did just con this man out of 30 gold.
Right. Well, listen,
Wait, con?
I didn't do the conning.
Well,
I believe you talked him up. If I was listening correctly, he said
Yep.
20. You said 30.
Okay. It's
there's
it's
a job to be
fine. I pointed at a fucked up hand and was like, "You need more."
30 gold is a month's worth of income for most
Yeah.
people.
Well,
Amber almost
don't.
died.
Yeah.
Can't put a
Look.
price on life.
It was
Yeah. Look at the
seriously
fucked
down
up
to
hand. There's
3
still
hit
teeth mark in
points,
there.
by the way. 3.
Unbelievable.
Oh, God.
Unbelievable.
You didn't see
Unbelievable.
somebody almost get eaten by a book.
Any other business here in the general store?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
shit.
I need to remember to go buy a pearl before we leave here, but beyond that,
He has a pearl here. You can purchase a pearl at a 20% discount.
hell yeah. Does it still count as a 100 gold piece pearl if I only
Yes,
spend
it is worth 100 gold. Yes. Excellent. Cool. Yes, you have a pearls. You have the material for your identify spell.
Nice.
Excellent. You all exit out of the Burlap Emporium. 2 hours have gone by. It's a early evening, late afternoon now, as the sun is beginning to set behind the mountains here in Maras. The what do you guys do?
We should probably get to my house. That took a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it was.
They've got to be at my house by now. That's it's, mm, that's got to be awkward. I bet it's awkward.
I mean, it's probably fine.
Yes, to your house immediately. Quick question, Ember. Do you think you could use your hammer and pound some of this rice into a fine powder for me? I can't imagine it'd take more than 4 or 5 good whacks.
Okay. Um,
I
could I
mean,
do that? Yes, absolutely, I could do
I
that.
got like a
On the
mortar and
other hand,
pestle.
yeah, I have a thing that's
I
actually
could just
designed for that. I
Oh,
have I
really?
yeah.
can
Yeah,
yeah,
they
I
make like a bowl that has like a little stomper and you just kind of grind it up.
Oh, wonderful.
you literally used the correct term and then just decided to go sideways, Merv. It's it's
It's
amazing.
like that sometimes.
Yeah, that's but I have just we can do that at the house, or do you need
Oh,
it done before we get to the house?
no, that's great. That'd be wonderful, and probably much less dirt in it doing it that way. That sounds great.
Yeah, dirt and blood and keg bits.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
wonderful. Lead the way.
You head back to you head back to Ember's family's home, the Fire Forge Bakery. As you head up the winding stairs to go around the building, like the bakery is closed, but you see the lights on upstairs. And as you make your way up the winding stairs to get to the second floor, you can hear, voices and laughter inside. And as you open the door, Rainier, Laylis, and Dom, you all have been well attended to by Ember's family. Her father, Cobrin Cobb Fireforge, and her mother, Rizwin Fireforge. And they have taken the time to tell embarrassing stories of Ember from her childhood. And you can, they have given you like lots of like all the baked goods from the day are like spread around tables here. A large meal has already been like cooked and being set about. There is ale and wine and drinks of all kinds. And you see Cobb is like setting up decorations, like homemade makeshift party decorations. And Rizwin has changed from her work clothes from the mine, and she's a dwarf's dwarf. This lady could, it's like she could crush you with any muscle in her body. It looks like. Um, uh, she is busy, asking, about like how your travel was and getting to know each of you as well. As you all enter in, they both turn and Amber, you're here. You're finally here. And your mother rushes forward and gives you a big hug.
Hey, okay. Can't breathe. Can't breathe. Got it.
Come in, come in, come in. I heard that you got your hammer and tong today.
Yep. Yeah. That's two for two. 2 for 2.
Come in, come in. You must be Merv, and you must be Callan.
Ow.
That is perfect. Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Wonderful to meet you. She shakes your hands. It's a wonder that your hand like isn't broken from her firm handshake. Um, Uh, you're invited in, handed drinks. There are baked goods and foods here. Wonderful smells of home. It is warm and inviting inside this place. Um, uh, is there anything you guys like want to do in this celebration?
Hmm.
Just have a pleasant time and hear about Ember.
Um, is there any Ted, is there any story of Ember that you can think of that they might have mentioned here?
Um I guess one thing that does need to just be made sure it's clear, whereas Ember is sort of red-skinned and blue hair, her parents are perfectly normal dwarves.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about this.
Um, as far as stories go, um, there was probably more than one occasion of trying to get the bakeries going in the morning as a child and uh setting the ovens on fire. One of those things where it's like, how do you even do that? I don't know. Which prompted her being sent over to the Weimar forges. In the first place, one of Cobb's apprentices is probably the child of someone that works over at the forge. Sort of a apprentice exchange program.
So
Um,
did you ever find out how you were able to make stoves catch fire or ovens catch fire?
She just holds out a hand flat, and the
Oh,
fire, the blue flame, just pops up.
when was the first time you ever like did it well, first on accident and then on purpose?
I don't. We think it has to do with whatever's in the mines. There are parts of
Huh.
the mines we don't go into. You know.
Ever seen other folks that came out looking like you?
No, not that I know of. But um, you could
Okay.
check with the foreman. Well, I say you could check with the foreman. She's right over there. Um, but I don't think so. No.
Rizwin speaks up and says, "Ember was our gift from the mountain."
So
With
Oh,
she was born like that. She didn't like.
Oh yes, it was. I mean, we only had her, so I don't know if hers was a normal birth. Painful, as I think all are, but she came out perfect.
DM, can I roll a nature check about like things that could like basically like magical contamination, basically,
uh,
especially
Magical microplastics.
well, especially if like pregnant mother was around something magical. The swamp is fucked up. That kind of
Yeah,
seems like something could happen.
yeah, you can roll a nature check for it.
Come on, do bad. Eh.
Uh, with a 20, yeah, like the swamp's weird, right? Weird stuff goes down at the swamp, and um, it's not uncommon for um, pregnancies to be affected by things in the world. Um,
Exposure.
yeah, it's not super common, right, in general, but it is known to happen from time to time. Though what happened, with Ember, I mean, you don't know the context, right? But
Yeah,
your line of thinking is could be correct.
yeah. I mean, Merv is keeping that to himself, at least until later. That's not a polite dinner conversation kind of thing.
So we were thinking of going to what's that place you're from?
Car.
Karakara, yeah.
Sorry,
There.
Karakar.
Party town,
Well, we have more than just
Kiteville.
that. Okay.
I know we just got here. We wouldn't leave immediately, but like
We do
I
need to
don't know,
leave.
with getting my tools, I don't know. It's just be weird to be here and not have to go to the forge. I mean, I could work in the bakery, but like I have my stamp already, so
You see, like all of you see Rizwin and Cobb exchange a glance with each other, and then look to you, Ember, and say, "Well, I mean, it sounds like from everything that's been said. I mean, you've had an eventful last few months, honestly, and you've seen a lot more of the world now than you have in the past, and you've spoken with Weimar, right?"
yeah. When he gave me the tools.
He had dinner with your father and I last week, and well, he had mentioned about how he adores you. You know that, but he doesn't think that you'll learn much more at the forge. And well, what do you think, Ember? What'll make you happy?
I don't know. Figure I've seen two of the three biggest cities in the land. Might as well make it 3 for 3, right? There's gonna be a festival and
You see your father, Cobb, speaks up, raises a glass, and says, "Well, travel broadens the horizons, and I haven't been to the festival in Karakar in a long, long time. But Ember, I mean, it's a wonderful thing, especially first time at the festival. And you're right, you've seen two of Adar's major cities. I think I think getting out there is probably a good thing. And then once you see the world, you can decide whether you want to stay here at the bakery or at Weimar's or whatever it is that you want to do."
plus someone's gotta stand in front of the lot of you as she looks at everyone else, not her parents.
Merv gives a thumbs up.
Well, to be fair, I think a good couple of us, despite our proclivities, have found ourselves right beside you most of the time. Most of the time. Looks at
Well,
Merv and Cal.
I mean,
one of you.
I think we do our part from the back, a little ways back.
I truly have very rarely seen such.
One of you stands there with a definite look at Rainier. Yeah, we got a couple days. Make sure there's nothing we need to do in town.
I guess we could go looking for more like public do-gooding like we did today. Oh, that one was kind of on accident, so I don't know. Like,
Yeah, no, let's not do that again like that.
not like specific, but we go to like a meeting board thing, and we see what kind of chores people need doing.
We don't have that much time, do we?
Cobb speaks up and goes, "Well, I mean, if you're looking to do some chores, the bakery could always use a bit of cleaning."
I mean, you got anything? I could probably clean the inside of those ovens. Those are
I
probably
was
a mess.
thinking the same thing, Merv.
Yeah, I've been thinking about a cleaning solution for it.
With your size, I think you'd be able to get right back into all those nook and crannies.
I mean, that's fair enough, I
I
guess.
elbow my dad in the ribs.
What?
It might be a
not
little.
It's not offensive. He is small.
I'm like not that
Start
much
doing that,
taller
like
than you're. You're like 2 inches taller or something. It's not even.
what?
You see, like the room gets serious for a moment as height is brought up.
Well, the important thing to
dwarves.
note is that Ember is in good hands. We, despite our rather unusual interactions, we have proven to work quite well together in any number of circumstances, really. The Ember is correct in that very frequently she is standing right there in front without hesitation, posting herself between the rest of us in danger. And many of the rest of us are, as Rainier had pointed out, right there by her side. So I know that you are both excited for Amber to get out and see the world, but also I'm sure there's some trepidation. But fear not, for she is in good company.
Krobin and Rizwin, like their eyes pass over all of you, and there's bright smiles on their faces. And Rizwin says, "Well, I can tell from everything you've said and the way you've talked about our Ember here, she's in good hands. Yes, it's not often that you find good friends, travel companions out on the road, people who are willing to test themselves, look out for one another, even when things are dangerous and their own lives are at risk. I'm happy that our Ember here has made such fine friends." And he raises a toast to all of you.
You're here.
You all have a wonderful evening here at the Fire Forge's house. There's laughter, a bit of singing, and a fully enjoyable evening. As the evening winds down, you all have accommodations paid for here by Baracus at the Black Mountain Inn. But you are provided, like, they're, some of you are very drunk and they're like, "No, just sleep here, we'll make a little, like, blanket and pillow thing for you. You are welcome to rest here or rest at the inn." Who is doing what?
Was I able to get my rice ground up into a fine powder?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. I am going to place that in my little pouch and secure that pouch with my black and yellow ribbon, and then announce that I am heading back to the Black Mountain Inn.
I'll accompany you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what you're gonna do.
Well, whatever do you mean?
Right. Murph just gives the thumbs up.
Excellent. Dom, do you stay here at the Fireforge family home, or do you head back to the inn?
I forgot I was muted. I would head back.
Okay, very good. You all gather yourselves to head out for the evening. It's like 1:30 a.m. And these dwarves are sloshed, absolutely hammered. They give you like a lot of hugs, right? Like they each hug all of you, and then each hug all of you again. And you all are sent off on your way back to the inn. Um, Ember, as your family like gets to kind of cleaning up the after the party and setting things away, you see your Cobb walks over to kind of like he has like a little desk kind of set up where he manages some of the business paperwork. And he has a pint of ale in his hand that he's just kind of loosely sipping on, and you see him staring at this it's like a mannequin under a cloth, right? And you know what's underneath this cloth. And every now and then you catch your father looking at it from time to time, but he seems very contemplative about it at the moment, and reaches out and pulls off the covering to reveal his old Praetor armor set. And he looks it over and just like drinks his ale for a minute.
Thinking back. Um,
Mm. Just all your friends here reminded me of my time in dangerous company.
don't really talk about it much. Was it? I mean, that was a while ago.
Oh, a long time ago, Amber. That part of my life is well in the past. When you were born, I knew it was over. I thought I'd trade one service to Maras for another. Always was a fair baker. Knew if I put in the time, I could be a good one. Kind of
Good.
runs his hand across the breastplate, which is he's never fixed it up. Like he's kept all the scratches and dents and marks of use on it.
Yeah, fair baker. Best in Mirrors at the very least. Fair baker.
Yeah, well, that took a lot of work. I burned more scones than anyone has ever made. But now, best in Maras. He turns to you and says, "There's not a day that goes by that I regret my decision to make sure that I was here for your mother and for you. But I learned a lot serving Maras, helping its people, and exploring the world. It's a strange and wondrous place, Ember, as you've begun to see."
Yeah, there's a lot I haven't seen, but getting attacked by giant bugs sort of does take some of.
Invigorates you.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just with not having study at Weimar's anymore, it just feels weird to be here still. Like, what am I what am I gonna do when I wake up tomorrow? If I don't if I stay here, if I stay in town. I mean, I guess I could go into the mine with mom, but
Well, I think the only one that knows the answer to that question is you. He pulls you in a bit, kind of ruffles your hair, right? Pulls you close, gives you a little kiss on the top of the head. No matter what choice you make, Ember, as long as you're happy, and your mother and I are happy.
Sleep on it.
Mm. Ugh. You want to finish this for me? He hands you the ale.
Ew. No.
Oh, all right, suit yourself. Um, he gives you a kiss on the cheek, and he heads off to bed, leaving the armor there uncovered. Anything you wish to do for the evening?
Nope. Nope.
Okay, wonderful. um, is there anything the other crew, the inn crew, is getting up to this evening?
Sounds pretty late. How empty is this inn?
It's fairly sparse. You see about like 3 people in there. One person that is just absolutely passed out on the one of the tables, and then you see someone behind the countertop, manning the inn for the evening hours.
Mhm. Yeah, Cal will just get an ale and hang out for a bit, and then head up to bed.
Cool. Anything anyone else wants to do tonight specifically?
Not entirely. I was just, out partying with everybody, having the most wonderful time.
Okay, wonderful. Evening comes and everyone receives a long rest. The morning of the 10th arrives. Um, in the morning, everyone, yeah, take your long rests, do all your stuff that you need to. As the morning comes, you're able to get breakfast downstairs. Your breakfast is also accommodated, though if you wish to stay here at the inn for the remainder of your time, you will need to actually pay for the rooms, as Baracus has paid for your food and drinks for the night and the morning, and then that is it. So it is morning of the 10th, let's say around 8:30 a.m. Actually, it was around 2, so 8 hours, so closer to actually like 10:30, late night.
Hey, good
Amber,
morning, everybody.
okay, I
Yeah,
was going
I
to ask
will
if you
get up.
meet everyone there. Yep, cool.
Yeah, I will bring some pastries with me.
Oh, very kind.
I actually have been looking forward to trying these.
You didn't try it when we got there the first time? Well, here you go.
No, it was more like exactly in this context during a hangover.
Oh,
Yep,
got
yep.
it, got it, got it. Cheese bagel. Here you go.
Ah, there you go. Thank you.
Delicious. I
Yeah.
will. Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna ask the barkeep. Is the proprietor of the Black Mountain Inn are they around?
Things are down in the cellar. Aleda is who you're referring to.
Very well. Could you it's nothing urgent, but could you just point them out if they make an appearance?
Sure, I can go get it for you.
Oh, no, I don't want to interrupt whatever they're doing, and want to catch up and enjoy the pictures with my friends here.
Cool. After like a few moments, you see Aleda, the female dwarf that you all had met here earlier. She comes up. She has like a clipboard. Looks like she's doing like inventory.
Aleda, allow me to introduce myself. Kalawunax Clethintila of the Bashkin Clethintilas. I was curious to know what your rule, if you have one, or opinion if you don't, on games of chance in your establishment here.
Oh, well, fancy name you got. Don't think I'll be able to repeat that one back to you. No offense.
None taken.
Games of chance. I mean, look, as long as you're not inviting any kind of violence here, or
Oh,
causing
heavens no.
trouble.
Heavens no. In fact, the game I have in mind is very friendly. And in fact, central to the game would be many, many servings of wine being sold.
All right. As long as no one's getting hurt and no one's being taken advantage of, then I see no problem with it.
Of course, I'll be sure to shut it down at the absolute first hint of any inkling towards violence.
See that you do. Oh, reminding me, y'all be staying here tonight?
Well, let me take a survey of my friends. I know that I was planning on staying here, but I don't know what their plans are. And I will, just ask everybody where we're staying, if we're staying.
She also tells you that they have 4 single rooms for 5 silver apiece, or 3 double rooms for 8 silver apiece.
Mhm.
It's the 10th, and what's the day we need to be there? The 20th, right?
The 22nd.
20. Oh, that's right. It got moved.
Yeah. So if the earliest to arrive, right? It's a 10. Like it's roughly, given the mileage, it's a 10-day journey cutting across the north of the map, just west to east. 10 days across. The old road is again roughly about 14-ish days. So if you leave on the 12th, you would get there on the 22nd.
Oh, might as well stay here one more night.
Yes, I mean,
Cal,
we just got here after all. Yes?
Are
Sir.
you gonna get up to some hijinks today?
Oh, no, just continuing to imbibe and maybe making some new friends over some entertaining games.
Okay.
Can
I got
interrupt that?
2 things for you to try out. Puts one bottle on the counter that is like got some blue liquid in it and says, "Okay, this one's called Mammoth Syrup a Floating.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make you be able to fly around kind of slow like for 10 minutes."
Ah, wonderful.
Puts another one that's like got some purple liquid in it. This one here is Uncle Mart's Modifying Mixture. Once you drink it, you'll be able to like kind of fuck with yourself a little bit for 10 minutes. Grow like gills or like change your appearance.
Sounds very intriguing.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna leave these here with you for testing and general hijinks.
Very well.
You let me know how they worked.
Certainly.
Amber, do you think your parents would let me do some cleaning?
Of the bakery?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's kind
I
of
mean,
relaxing, to be honest. Clears the
That's like
head when you're doing manual labor.
yeah, but that's what the apprentices are for. That's like part of the apprenticeship.
I mean, do you think they'll pay? What? I tell you what, they pay me in free pastries. You think?
Do you not have enough money?
Oh, I got money, but like it tastes a little bit better when it's free when you worked for it. I mean, unless you need me today.
I don't think that I have explicit purpose of keeping you busy, Merv, but just
Hmm.
more of a matter of, I mean, we're going to be traveling, and you should take an opportunity to rest when you can get it.
I mean, I do kind of consider this rest.
Fair enough.
It's good to stay busy. Also lets me do some thinking.
Say, you do name all of these little things, and he shakes one of
Right.
the bottles after family members. Now, not that I'm doubting you, but are these real people?
Yeah.
That's very sweet of you.
I mean, I'm kind of working off of like, I believe the term is apocryphal. A little bit. These are not just like, I guess, tributes or homages, but they are also like kind of based off of some stuff that I heard that they made.
Well, that's very sweet of you.
He looks like momentarily like flummoxed by that. Right. Well, I'm gonna. You want to walk with me, Amber? Or I know the way. I think.
So where?
At your parents' bakery.
Yeah, I mean we can go back.
Don't get any like big bar fights without me. I guess. Send like a
Well,
runner.
that
We
would be
don't try to get into bar fights.
that is true. And it only happened one time.
Yeah, the one time we've been in a bar. Besides this one.
there's absolutely no chance that there will be any violence of any sort. But if something does break out, I'll be sure to send someone to get you.
It'll take me a bit to get there, but maybe I'll be there to like administer healing.
I'll try and keep it going.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
All right, Ember and Merv head back to the bakery. What is Dom doing today?
I actually believe I have a delivery that I have yet to deliver.
Hmm. Okay.
So that is priority numero uno.
Okay. Very good. What about Cal, Rainier, and Layla's?
I mean, I don't. I'm just here to enjoy like the new variety away from the elven. What's the word? The elven lifestyle. So I'm just, and I have a new pet now. So
Yeah.
I'm just really here vibing with him.
I mean, if you want, you can take the day to like just walk around the city and like just see like because this is a different like this does not look like Finlanora at all. Finlanora is um they're building like it's not like this at all.
Yeah,
Not anything close to it. Yeah, Basar can spend the day kind of walking around, exploring the city, and just seeing the different things people are getting up to here, the different culture.
I would actually like to go and look for. I don't even know if they have them. I want to call it a pet store, but I really don't think they have a pet store.
Would it be
Um,
all right if Rainier accompanied Laylas? Just if he makes known that he's just gonna go kind of wander.
I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't have any complaints with anybody coming along.
yeah. I'll just hang out with you, wander the city.
I
Yeah.
do need a chaperone.
Rainier, when he's talking about like pet store, you think probably the best places be like some place that deals in like animal husbandry.
Hmm.
Most likely will have like maybe something, depending what he's looking for, right?
Are you looking for like dragon food or?
No, actually, I just feel like he hasn't had any chance to uh, play with animals closer to his nature. And I
You
mean,
take
even a
advantage.
dog would be like, they're on all fours. They can at least do
Solid, solid.
I can't really fault you for that logic, and I'm very interested to see how that plays out. So,
He
Yeah.
does listen
Um,
pretty well.
do me a favor. Roll a d100. We're gonna roll for dog park. If this place has a dog park. Okay, you want a 30 and below. Okay.
Ooh,
There
yeah,
is
Duck
there
Park.
there
Dog
is a
park.
dog there is a dog park here you can bring Basar to. We'll get to your dog park in a minute. Cal, are you doing your gambling shtick?
Yeah. The first part of the day, probably until early evening. Like anyone that comes in that looks like they might be down for it. Like I'm trying to play straight cards or dice or whatever, just um to get a little taste of that gambling action and just to sort of establish myself in this location as, oh, here's someone who is clearly enjoys and is here to drink and to gamble.
Cool. You gain. There's a couple people who hang around.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will like hang around for like the whole day
Mm-hmm.
gambling with you, losing a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
in the process. Others will kind of come and go, but you get like a little bit of a following, a
Okay.
group, in the bar for it. Um, okay. Dom, you want to make a delivery. Where are you going?
I forgot where I'm supposed to go.
Okay. Do you want me to remind you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Because your character would know this specifically.
Yes.
You have a delivery to make at the Burlap Emporium to a merchant known as Arias Trollbleeder.
That's so awesome.
That's the guy we just.
Mm-hmm.
Tight. Let me head there.
Cool. You head there, and it's as was described previously as the people who were there before. A large, well lit general store with many shelves. Also, like very well organized, like incredibly well organized right now. Very clean. You see a couple people milling about, and some attendants taking some orders as well. And you see a dwarf behind a countertop, handing like a satchel of something to someone.
Hi, I'm looking for Mr. Trollbleeder, Arias Trollbleeder.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, perfect. I have a delivery for you.
Oh, I wasn't expecting anything today.
Oh, um, well, I think the best gifts come when we least expect it.
All right. What's your name?
Dominic Remus. I'm from Karakara.
Um, he extends a hand in greeting, and when you mention Karakara, like the shake pauses for a slight moment and continues, and he smiles again. Well, Dominic from Karakara, what is it that you brought for me?
Great question. I actually felt it best to be respectful and not look inside, and he produces a satchel. Uh, Although, if you would be so kind as to sate my curiosity, I am kind of curious to see what is inside.
He holds the satchel, kind of like looks it around and sets it down and undoes the buckles on it and pulls out a like a redwood ornate, like highly polished wood case, about like 2 feet long, 6 inches wide, and sets it on the countertop. There's a latch on it, but doesn't have like a lock, just something to keep it closed. Looks at you, and looks down at the box and gently pulls the latch, lifts the lid up a little bit. His eyes, like enough that he can see a bit of what's inside of it, but that you're not able to make out from your particular angle. Um, Eyes flick back up to you, and you can see he has like a his face is like there. That smile is not quite there right now, and he says, "And you didn't look at this?"
No, I didn't see it as my place.
Hmm. Um, Sets the lid down, and you see he makes a motion to one of his attendants, and you see that the attendants begin ushering people out of the shop. And he says to you, "From Karakara, who was it that sent you with this, Dominic?"
Remind me.
This is your friend.
Yes.
It's Philorel. Philorel Nada, your elven friend who kind of waits tables at the meadery and runs goods on the side.
Yeah, I would let him know. It's from Floral.
Um, Make a perception check for me. Make a
Sure.
perception check and an insight check.
Oh, yay. Perception, insight. Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
Oh,
hell yeah.
Holy
What?
shit! What
Oh
the
my
fuck?
god. Two net
Jesus
20s?
fuck.
Holy cow. Holy
Oh,
cow.
I
Oh,
guess.
I will
Good
not
luck
be
the
rolling for
rest
the
of the
rest of the
month.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Jesus.
Incredible. You kind of like turn your head and look, and you see the attendants have like ushered out everyone, and you see the door close and you hear the click of it locking. um so you notice that you are alone in this store with two attendants and this person, the dwarf Arise Troll Leader. The attendants are both dwarves as well. Your insight check. Um, you know you were supposed to give a passphrase when you delivered this, and you have not given that passphrase.
Oh, shit.
And you are in deep shit right now as these attendants are slowly taking steps towards you. And you see this dwarf, one hand on the countertop, another hand sliding underneath of it.
Uh, it's, now would be a great time for that passphrase. uh, is it too late to remind you of? And then he'll give the passphrase.
I am not going to help you with this
I
passphrase.
hate you. I lost my book. I lost my book.
Okay, you did, because I knew you write it down. I knew you wrote it down because I
Yeah.
remember you were like you're asking it and writing it down for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Only because you
I
lost your
mean,
book.
fuck it. No, I'll fight. Let's do this.
I mean, because it's just an important thing. Like this is the thing to know, right?
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
um, the passphrase is the brighter the torch, the deeper the shadow. And as you're like racking your mind, thinking about here, and I'm also, I will do you the favor of putting it in the chat. I have your token selected right now. That's why it's you that's saying it. It's your own thoughts. Um,
Hey.
as you are like racking your mind of like, oh shit, shit, there was something else here. um you can like out of the corner of your eyes, like the hair on your arms and neck are like standing up. You know you are moments away from a very, very bad situation, as these attendants are like 10 feet away from you, like very clearly flanking you from both sides.
Yeah, I remember now. Excuse me. The brighter the torch, the deeper the shadow.
Really?
uh,
I was like, what
sorry.
if he just gave
That
you the wrong
was
password?
that'd be hilarious. uh,
The,
excuse me. I know I should have said something earlier, but I was my curiosity got the better of me, which I know I'm better than.
the attendants are about 5 feet on either side of you. They stop and you say the phrase, and Arias Trollbleeder looks at you. In the shadows, we are free. Nods with his head, and the attendants back away.
Dominic
he
wipes some sweat off his forehead.
he opens the case a bit more and reveals inside. You see in there, as he grabs one of these objects. This is a case that is custom made to hold these objects. Um, each one of them is like a rounded orb with this brilliant kind of like silver filigree line work all around it. Um, all set against like a obsidian black surface, and the other is like a tube with like a weird kind of metallic and crystalline nodule on one end of it, with what looks like metallic wiring coming from that, leading like running and circling down the tube itself. Each like can fit, like you can hold it in your hand. And he picks up the orb, the black one with the filigree on it. Make a let's call it another insight check.
All right, let's watch that regression to the mean. Yep.
11 will do it. You seeing this object, the make of it reminds you of the object that Baracus had shown you, the thing that had killed your friend, supposedly.
Oh,
Your mind like connects dots, and you believe that this is something like that, and that in this case are two of these objects. Um, he holds, Arise holds this up in the air, kind of spins it around a bit, and a smile comes across his face. He looks at you and says, "It's a bit of wonder, isn't it?"
I believe it also be quite dangerous. Is that correct?
All things are.
Or rather, all things have the potential to be.
These will do nicely.
What do you plan on using them for?
He looks at you, closes the case, and says, "I believe our transaction is completed." He holds out a hand for you to shake.
He will slowly raise his hand to meet and shake.
holds your hand, like presses it, right?
Mhm.
And releases. Blood for the beast. Dominic? From Karakara.
Guess we'll see.
You hear a click and a creak of the door opening, and he nods for you to get out.
Yeah. I will happily leave.
You exit, the door closes behind you, and you see one of the attendants that closes it, like, makes eye contact with you through the doorway. And he just like stares at you for a moment, marking you and who you are, and then turns, and you can see like the lights dimming, like they are closing this store. And the last thing you see is like them disappearing into a back room.
Mm. Yeah, I will go to find the others. I believe Cal is staying at the inn, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I'd go to see Cal.
Okay, very good. Cal, you're at the inn. Like, how's how's this gambling going?
It's going all right. After as the evening wears on, and I imagine the inn probably starts to fill up a little bit as we reach, late afternoon, early evening. I would suggest to whomever I am playing cards or dice with, do individuals be interested in perhaps a game of chance that's a little bit more esoteric?
Okay.
I'll pull out my little pouch of rice powder that's in the that's tied shut with a black and yellow ribbon. This here I acquired after a rather lengthy game of Three Dragon Ante with a druid in Bashkin. The game went on so long, in fact, that my poor friend failed to accurately keep track of how much he had lost, and could not, in fact, pay in coin. But what he did do is pay in this, which is a substance the likes of which I've never seen. Used his rather considerable magics while he was out and about to distill down the essence of the meager honeybee into this very fine powder. And if you taste it, and I'll invite everybody to sort of dip a pinky in and put it on their tongue. I'll do the same to demonstrate. It doesn't really taste like much at all if you taste it by itself, but if you dilute it in something, and I'll order 3 cups of wine, and I'll put a little in each wine cup, and I'll use my what's the name of this crazy thing? Use my spice box spoon to stir it in, explaining that it doesn't dilute very well, so you need to give it a good stir right before you drink it. But when you taste it, not only does it taste immensely of the honey of the honeybee, but also of the various flowers that these particular bees used to harvest said nectar. And as a result, you have instantaneously, really, the most delightful, sugary sweet mulled wine you've ever tasted. Please try.
Several of these folk like kind of exchange confused glances, hold the glasses, and one of them goes, "Yeah, but where's the part where I earn my money back?"
You see, now this is where it gets interesting. What I'm going to do, and I motion for 3 more cups of wine, right, is I am going to put this powder in one of these 3 cups. And then I'm going to move them around like this, and I'll do the 3-card Monty shuffle on these cups of wine. You choose which one I put the powder in. I'll give it a good stir to make sure that it is properly dissolved. And then you give
Wait,
it a
hold on.
taste.
How do we know this ain't no kind of poison?
Well, because we're all. That's why I provided these 3 cups initially, so that we could all taste the wine, so you could taste what it tastes like. I mean, how would I make any money poisoning people? I'd be in
I don't
prison
know.
immediately.
Well, you take the money off for dead bodies.
And escape from this establishment and then escape from the city? No. I don't think. Look at me. Do I look like some sort of athlete? Please.
I guess so. All right, how do we make money?
Well, very simple. 1 gold wins you 2. 2 gold wins you 5.
Well, I give you 1 gold, you give me 2 gold.
If you properly choose the cup of wine that has been turned to mulled wine with this powder, then yes.
Okay. They exchange glances. Make make a deception and persuasion check.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Initially, I'm going to lose more than I win. The goal here isn't to win like a shit ton of money, right? The goal is right, particularly initially, to establish this as a fair game, which clearly it's not, right? But, got to give it up a little bit initially.
Yeah.
So you need deception and what?
Yeah, a deception to like for the general lie that this thing is, right? A persuasion to convince them like that it's safe to do, and then a sleight of hand check for your 3-card Monty.
Well, I'm going to argue I don't need the sleight of hand check for the 3-card Monty because it doesn't matter where the thing ends up because I'm stirring it with this spoon right before they drink it. That's how I control whether they win or not.
Right. So, what is the condition here? Like, how do you get money? How do they get money?
Okay. So the win condition, right after I shuffle all the drinks around, right? I put powder in one of the drinks. I shuffle the 3 drinks around, right? At this point, they all still taste like wine, right? I wait until the individual chooses a glass of wine, right? I then stir it with the spoon, right? Therefore, if I want to change it, I can change it to taste like this, super sugary wine, right? And so I'm in full control, right? Over.
So you're stirring before anyone takes a cup. Like
Yeah.
they go to take a cup and then you stir it to change it.
Well, no, the story that I've told is that it has to be stirred right before it's consumed because it doesn't dilute well in the liquid, and so I need to stir it.
Okay, sure. Cool. They buy the lie that this is what you say it is.
Right.
Some of them are like you see 2 people back out because they think it's poison.
Okay.
They think that this is dangerous.
Yep.
You see one person step forward and goes, "Ha, cowards! I've been spending the last 2 years building up a resistance to iocane powder."
Lovely.
and reaches forward to take a drink.
Great. And like I said, initially, like certainly for this person, I will lose, right? And I'll lose more than I win in hopes of gaining some of the naysayers back. And then slowly, as the evening goes on, if I'm able to have this persist, my winning percentage will increase.
Okay, cool. You can do this. Um, Here's the thing. I understand what you're saying, but like, there's got to be some kind of role here, right? Like, how are we determining how much money that you get and don't get? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we have to determine when do people, everybody just give up, right?
Right.
About this, right? Which is why, like, we needed some kind of role. Do you have game tools or dice tools or anything like that to use?
Well, I mean, here. Whoops. I do have the gambler background, which includes never tell me the odds. I'm trying to figure out how to post that for you right now.
Oh, if you look at it at the bottom, there should be buttons that say like info, default, that sort of thing. And if you hit like default or info, it'll just dump it into the chat.
Yeah, there are not. Because I've got some crazy. Let me see here.
Background gambler. Oh, you just click the dice. When you go hover over the picture, you just click the dice, just like anything else on your sheet. So like everything on your sheet, how it works is you hover over the picture and it becomes a dice. You click it to use it.
Okay, so you're not looking at it in the biography. You're looking at it under features or
Oh, I'm looking at
effects?
your actual feature. Yeah. Your
Okay, I
biography
gotcha.
is text. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a copy paste, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So I've got that to help, which should give me some insight as to what.
Cool. Roll 2d10 to determine how much money you make.
All right.
Hell yeah, you get 12 gold out of these folks before some people are like, that's all my money, and other people are like, ah man, I'm too drunk for this. So your grift works and you get 12 gold.
All right. I will spend the rest of that evening buying 12 gold worth of drinks for various people.
Okay, very, very good. Wonderful. Dom, you see Cal, like doing his thing here. Merv and Amber, you're able to clean these stoves. They pay you in pastries. They'll make you anything special that you want. They
Ember,
will
you don't have to stay with me and do this. You can go do other fun things if you want. You are muted, Ted.
Yeah, I went to unmute. No, Ember was definitely not really planning to stick around
Uh-huh.
because I'm really not sure he's gonna go for it, Murph. That's what the apprentices are supposed to do. Like it's part of the apprenticeship, but
Yeah, they go for it. I'm just speeding this. I'm just speeding this
Yeah.
up. Right. So yeah, you're able to work at the thing, and they pay you in pastries. They'll make you something special if you request it.
Yeah.
Ember, anything you are doing?
Nah. No.
Okay, cool. Rainier and Laylis, you find a dog park here.
Yes.
There's a variety of very good boys, and Basar is like very excited and bouncing at seeing all these other animals. And you see he is licking his lips in anticipation.
Vocal hound. Wait. Bazaar. No. I grab Bazaar and I'm like, these are not snacks. You are here for friends. and I put
You
a
see,
rope on him. I put a rope on him, right? I'm going to walk with him to meet said friends.
Oh fuck.
Oh my
um, uh, these so the dogs and him do the thing where they like are stretching out your rope trying to like sniff each other, right?
Hmm.
Everyone is you're the only little dragon thing. So people like are very like curious about it
Oh,
at
that's a
first.
fucked up dog.
Yeah,
weird
like, oh,
Oh, that
skinship.
dog. Yeah, that dog is so sick.
what kind of breed is that? Um, so there's a lot of curiosity about it.
Yeah.
Basar is sniffing these dogs, and let's see here.
Oh god.
Mr.
Oh,
Basar.
please.
Oh, okay. I'm rolling for stuff for Basar right now. Um,
Mm.
Okay, Basar sniffs a few of these dogs, and you see like a little like gout of elemental just kind of like out the side of his mouth, and these dogs like and back up a bit, begin like kind of cowering, tail between legs. He starts pouncing excitedly, and is like trying to mimic the barks, but he's a lizard thing. So it's like little roars that he lets out.
Oh,
He is
Jesus.
like
Oh, no.
straining against your leash.
I don't, how do I put this? I'm like pulling myself to Basar with the rope, so I'm using it little by little,
Mhm.
overhand. And I just like, I try to catch up to him. I'm like, look, look. I just sit down, put him in my lap. I'm like, look. We need you to have friends. These friends do not like fire or cold or anything like that. You are scaring them. We need you to slow it down a little bit, you know. Just let them tell you how to have fun and then let that happen.
He has his kind of mouth open, kind of like panting a little bit. You see he's like mimicking a lot of the doggy behavior that he's seeing
Yes.
here. He looks at you. You see his mouth begin to form to make a noise, and he does make a noise.
Right.
But the noise he makes is in Draconic, and he
Yes.
says "friend," and then licks you.
Okay. So in response to him, I say, yes, friend, but not snack.
um,
And then since he said friend, I will that little chest that Merv has, I'll take like a handful of meat that was in there, right? And I'll give him half of snack to so he can have that as like a reward, right? So he
okay,
knows that friend is a good thing.
okay. Um, uh, he gobbles that up, um, uh, and then turns and looks at some of the other dogs around here, and looks back at you and says, again in Draconic, "No big snack."
No, they are not big snack. And then I'll open the chest even more so he sees like all the snacks that he has. I'm like, these are snacks. You play nice, you get snacks.
Um, you see him shake his head, no, and then look over and like point his nose towards like small dogs and go, "Small snack."
No,
In
no,
Draconic.
no, not small snack. No. Okay. And then I grab his rope and I'm like, okay, we need to leave this area first. We need to come to an understanding first. And then we go back out to like the exit, the gate, and I have them all sit down with him for a moment. I'm just like, look, if you eat any of them, we can't be here anymore. Do you want to come back?
If no eat can run,
this is a you thing. I really wish he had like a higher intelligence to explain that one a little better.
His intelligence is quite high. He is explaining it as good as he can.
I know that's why that's a very vague. No eat. We can run. Do not chase them.
What if chase me?
You let them, and I will handle that. But you do not.
I will win.
Oh God. If they chase you and are mean, you hit them with tail.
He nods his head yes. Like he is agreeing to these terms.
Okay. Can we go in here and you not eat them now?
No eat. Run.
Okay. Yes. And then I'll go in there with him and I'll run with him, right? I probably won't be able to run as fast, but I'm going to hold the leash and run with him while he runs around with them. Just not at that trustworthy stage yet to just not be little chihuahuas.
um yeah, you and him run around this dog park. Like you're having a hard time like keeping up with him.
Yes.
You're always just just you have to like give him a bit of lead on the rope, right? But he agrees to the terms and does not attempt to eat any of the small dogs here. A couple big dogs do come, like get a little aggressive, and he comes to you after like kind of like snorts a little bit of electricity, but comes to you after.
Nice. And then I give him treats for those moments. I'm like, yes, thank you. You did not kill said dog, and I'm happy.
Wonderful. You have a wonderful bonding day at the dog park with Bazaar.
Just want to have normal dog things. We have to make him blend in.
um, Excellent. As the day winds down, you all are able to meet back up at the tavern space where um, uh, Cal has just finished winning a fair amount of gold
Nice.
in a strange game that he's been setting up.
Cal, I
How's
have a
every?
question.
Yes.
How did you acquire that much?
Oh well, all my new friends having a lovely time.
Are they your friends? Or are they trying?
This man is my best friend.
Yes.
Understood. You guys have the best of times.
Oh, don't be that way. You're my best friend too.
I am.
Talawak has known me forever.
Wait. What'd you call him?
Talawak.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
We go way
I'm
back.
sorry.
What
I just
time
haven't
of
had
day
drinks
is
yet.
it?
Time for a drink.
Ah,
it
yes. I love the way you think.
And then I
Yeah,
asked
anyone like to
Cal's
join
new
me?
friend. I want to ask Cal's new friend if he'll buy me a drink, right?
Um, if you buy me the next one,
Yes. And
yeah,
then
he buys you a drink.
I take the first free one, and then I don't go back to him for a second.
Damn. Bazaar played nicer than you did today.
To be honest, I this revelation just hit, right? I was so concerned that Basar was going to eat or bite or slap said dogs with tail that I forgot he had a huge horn on his forehead
Mm-hmm.
to where he could just spear them.
Mm-hmm.
He
It's
did.
fine
He
though.
behaved. He did very
Yes, he
good.
did.
This
Yes,
is
he
good. This is good first act development where like you got to teach him how to do friendship so that later on he can teach you how to do friendship. Some real like it'll all
Oh god.
you all grow as people.
Wonderful.
In
Wonderful.
the in after that drink and we get there, I would like to buy Basar his whole like his own plate of meat just for him,
Hell yeah. Hell
just
yeah.
because
You
he did
can.
so good today.
Yeah, you can do so. It's 3 silver.
Cool. There we go. And then I will, taking note of Basar's friendshipness that he acquired today, I will buy Cal and his friend 2 drinks, but without them knowing it was me.
Hmm.
I don't want to be asked for more drinks.
Cal, a drink from the gods appears before you.
I told you, stick with me, and drinks will be falling from the sky.
I knew that drinking your funny game was gonna be a good idea today. But tomorrow, I'm gonna win my money back.
Ah, yes. That's the spirit. Don't let a bad experience get you down. I'm sure this was just getting acclimated to the ins and outs, the nuances of the game.
I'm gonna drink that honey and be a bee.
Bzzz.
Buzz.
Yes, let's go buzzing around the bar. Buzz.
Has Dom made it back?
Ah, yes, Dom.
I believe so.
Yeah, Dom, you are here watching people buzz around the bar.
Yeah.
Checking in. How'd your day go?
Uh, it was interesting to say the least. Yours?
Well, I watched a lizard try very hard not to eat a dog for a couple of hours.
He did very
Sounds
well. Very well.
sounds way better than mine.
You excited to go back home?
I am actually.
You got family?
I do. Mom and dad.
I assume they're there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good relation?
Um, I believe so. No, yeah, everything's good.
Good.
How about you?
Oh, Bastion.
Family?
No. No.
Oh,
I mean, not anymore.
sorry about that.
Uh, people age, people get sick. It happens.
True. What? Hmm.
Got any recommendations once we get to Karakara?
Just the festival. That should be priority number one.
What
Well, I think
kind of festival is this?
Have we said yet, DM?
It's
It's
a
Harvest.
harvesting.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
harvesting.
harvest festival. It's like variety of games and celebrations, kite and lantern flying.
Drinking.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Drinking is definitely involved.
okay. Understood.
I raised my special magic cup.
I forgot
That will
about
be
that cup.
handy. A lot of warm beer over there.
Oof.
Huh.
How's Ember doing? Do you think she's all right to go? And he'll kind of like look around to see if she's over. Oh,
He's-
Ted's mute.
I think it's. Oh,
I was gonna ask, are we still at the bakery at this point?
No, everybody's at the inn.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you can be kind of like wherever you want to be in the inn. You know.
Yeah, she is there. She is, I mean, animatedly chatting the way she always does to people who are probably not even listening anymore.
Dom, I think I already asked you this, but is this your first time away from home?
No, I've traveled before. Um, I travel pretty frequently, actually.
Just have quite a few people who are new to the road. Just a interesting number we have.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm used to. That's why I'm so good at finding tracks, as it turns out.
That should be invaluable since we are going to be going off-road for a while.
Oh, yes.
He's gonna look at Layla's and say, "I trust in our abilities."
Ooh, yeah, I don't know about that one.
At
I
that
have
point,
faith in myself, but I just don't feel like I am fit to don't hoist me up there yet, right?
Yeah.
Cal will come stumbling over with 2 fists full of drinks that he's spilling as much as he's keeping in the things. Yes, abilities. Drinks for everyone, please. Um, what? So what do we do in the woods?
That is a fair question.
You are the woodsman, right?
Um, yes, yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Well, that settles it, I guess.
I don't know all the woods, right? I know the basis to it. They have trees and how to navigate my way around, but I don't know what's in all the forest.
Okay, well, based on your experience, what would you suggest a um, a city slicker like myself equip themselves with before we head out into a
Ooh.
10-day journey through the woods?
Well, normally the people I grew up with, we used bows, short swords.
Hmm.
You, however, seem to be a bit on the mystical side, more
Hmm.
so than most I've seen. Um, I would say just as a precaution, maybe a short sword, a dagger, just to have it, somebody gets a little bit too
Oh,
close.
like this. I've got the. Oh shit! Drops the dagger and picks it up.
Rainier like grabs it like as it's falling.
Right. Yes.
Yes, like that. Yes, that one. Exactly. I believe,
Well.
like Dom said, I do think he and I can handle majority of the forest with our bows. But in the off chance that somebody somehow or something somehow gets closer, we should at least each have a handy w- smaller weapon. And I look at Rainier because of the big crossbow and I'm like, "Do you have a smaller weapon as well?" Just as a
He
precaution.
he takes a drink and shakes his head.
Oh
Ha!
Never
well.
again.
Well, Randy,
We shall get Rainier one.
yeah, if you don't mind, I've actually got 2 daggers, and I wouldn't mind giving one to you, but the one you're holding right there that I dropped earlier, that is my sandwich cutting dagger. So, if you wouldn't mind trading.
He extends the hilt to you, but he says, "I I will not be picking up any other armaments, thank you. This
Ah, well.
Now, like you just said, you shan't be picking up any. But if we just equipped it to your boot,
I won't be using them.
that is fine, but it will be there.
What do you do if you like need to cut a rope?
Exactly.
I mean, I think a utility knife is different. All right, I know that a utility knife is incredibly different than a weapon. All
Do you
right,
got one of those?
sure, I do somewhere.
I feel like you
Maybe
should know where that is.
yes.
I don't usually need to be cutting rope.
We're going to the forest though. We don't know who's
Are we
been
going to a
there.
rope forest?
They might have
Thank you,
traps.
Cal.
They might have traps.
Listen,
There
all
are
right.
things as snares.
If all right, here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
This thing, and he pats the stock of the crossbow. It's heavy. It is hard to handle for the
Mm-hmm.
most part. Requires two hands at the best of times, and it's better if you have a third. And he puts up like one finger, and then he sends a second finger. Grabbing any other things at any other time is incredibly inconvenient. And then he extends the third finger. Every time I'm using any of my armaments for any reason, there is a no small amount of sacrifice that goes into me physically to be using them. The less weapons I am worrying about at any given time, the less likely I am to die.
So I hear that. Completely understand. Now, what if, right? Let's bring up a scenario. You get said crossbow removed from thy's hand. How would you fight back?
I mean, has that happened yet?
I do believe I saw you get pinned and like halfway unconscious under giant beetle creature with praying mantis claws.
But did it take it from me?
I was not paying that much. I was trying
You
not
had a
to
pretty
die.
good grip on it, even though you were kind of dying.
That is
See,
Impressive,
okay.
honestly.
Now, okay, you know what? Understand.
You know what maybe we do is we like tie a rope to one part of it, and then we tie it around your wrist. That way, like,
Yes.
they got
I
to cut a
mean,
rope
Well,
to get
it
away
listen,
from
I
you.
it
think
do have like this strap, like it swings under the arm, like it's
Right.
it's
But we'll
on
like,
me.
we'll lasso it around like your torso there.
It
So it can't go too far.
it is.
Yeah, but like more.
Well, look, I do think that for those of you that are clearly experienced, both on the battlefield and in the woods and with armaments of various sorts, seems only reasonable to trust each of you to know how to best equip and arm yourselves for such an endeavor as we are about to undertake. However, not all of us have the same breadth of experience in our lives. And so, for example, what do I do with my flowing robes here? Is there like an anti snag material that I would attach to the bottom of the robes so that I don't have to worry about them getting caught and ripped in the brush?
Oh, actually, I do know that trick. Give me a moment. He like stands up and like shows you like the gestures to like gird your loins, like pulling the back pieces of fabric like through the front of your legs and like tucking it into your belt.
Wow.
Oh, I
Uh,
was just gonna suggest you like pull it up and then tie a rope around your center,
Yes, that was also a
like a
suggestion.
belt.
Caleb's now doing like a little squat and like uh, sort of waddling back and forth. This is unusual. It reminds me of my commencement dance. Oh,
You see
Is it diaper
Bassar gets up
dance?
on his hind legs and begins attempting to mimic your little dance.
yes, Bassar, dance with me.
Yeah, a
He's
lot of the
going back like
Lathander
dancing
priests
Brazil, like just get it.
out in the fields tend to do this when they're out
Oh well.
They do a
in the
diaper
underbrush.
dance?
No, they tuck their robes up so they
Right.
don't get ruined. They're expensive as hell.
And then they do they do a dance?
I mean, maybe. I don't give a shit. I'm not part of that.
Well, this
Okay.
is fantastic, Rainier. This is exactly the type of thing that I'll need much information about as we progress through the woods.
Now you hear like a little emanation of sounds coming from Basar, and you, for a moment, you're not sure if you did hear it correctly, but through your drinking haze, maybe it's a hallucination, but Basar is speaking Draconic to you right now, and he looks at you
Don't
and says,
say.
"You, you are Big Crab."
Yes.
Well,
I just say yes as loud and like what's the word?
Exclamatory.
Yes, that one as possible. I'm just excited.
Basar, if you would like, I'm like leaning down now. If you would like to consider me Big Crab, it would be a great honor. Would you? It seems unfair that you have to dance down on the floor. Would you like to dance up on the table, be a little closer to the rest of us? And I extend a hand.
He like leaps up onto like your arm, like he's small, but he's
Right.
still like fairly large. He's like
Good
claws
God.
clinging
Oh,
in,
oh
to hold
Lord!
on.
Please look out, please! And I'm like staggering towards the table.
Yeah, he leaps off onto the table, like shit gets knocked over. The Basar's on the table.
Yes.
Um,
Whew. Yes. Very well done, Basar. You startled me a little bit, but shall we resume the diaper crab dance?
he begins like he stands up on his little hind legs a bit, and is like taking a few steps to the left, steps to the right, and he spins around. His little tail just knocks plates and cups over all over the place. He seems to be having a great time. Lets out a little gout of fire.
Oh.
I'd
You know
knock some
what?
shit off another table just so he doesn't feel bad.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I'm not gonna jump on a table, but I will dance next to said table.
Yes. Dance with me, Lelis.
Yes. I just want to participate. I want to be here.
You see a couple people nearby like look at each other, shrug, and start dancing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You get like eventually like the person playing the bard here playing music like sees people catching on to that and like starts like kicking up a rhythm, and like you all start a pretty kick-ass dance party here at the Black Mountain Inn. Um, it it's a wonderful time of people doing like these little weird crab dances that Cal's bringing out, like busting out these like sick Bastion moves. Um, and as as our camera view pulls away out of the tavern through the window, and we see people dancing and cheering and having a wonderful time here in Maras. We see a view of the city from high above, lights in the buildings and beyond. We're going to bring our session to a close as you all consider what to do before you begin your journey to Karakara.